Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Coffee's hot, frequency's alive. 145.430. You're listening to the morning hum. This is the Coffee Break Net. Steam rising with the sunrise glow. Signals bouncing nice and low. Foothill light and silicon sky. Morning check-ins rolling by. Call sign ready, mic in hand. Voices drifting through the band. RF dancing in the air. Someone's mobile somewhere out there. Heat up, drop your sign. One at a time. You're sounding fine. Sip so don't rush the day. Net control will lead the way. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices in the speaker, smooth and clean. So like riding on the beam. Checking out, don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. From the hills to the bay. W6EK Echo Kilo starts the day. Check here. AllStarLink been feeling strong. Echolink brings friends along. Mobile bass or handheld tight. Everyone sounding right. Morning traffic rolling through. Signal reports 5x2. Laughing in between the keys. Coffee cup and beeper R's. Mic drop, carry a tone. You're never really alone. One more round, take your place. Good vibes on the interface. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices and the speaker, smooth and clean. Sunlight riding on the beam. Check it out. Don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. Morning voices, RF stream. Coffee break, live on the machine. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Coffee's hot. Frequency's alive. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Good morning. Voices. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by.
Good morning and welcome to the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater located in Auburn, California. The Coffee Break Net where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing and the fish are jumping. This net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club in Northern California, and we're here every day of the week from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Please welcome your net control host and conversation facilitator for today's Coffee Break Net, Brian, AI6US, checking in from beautiful Meadow Vista, California. Let's get the Coffee Break Net underway. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful morning here in Northern California. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net here on the W6EK Repeater, connected nodes and repeaters. Hope everybody's having a wonderful hump day. Today is Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. And let's go ahead and get the Coffee Break Net underway. And let's see, before we start taking some check-ins, let's go ahead and, let's see. First of all, I want to promote that this Friday is going to be a special edition of the Coffee Break Net. Tom NN6H will be your net control operator for Friday, as usual. But that will be our 6th anniversary show on this Friday, March 20th. So I've invited all the net control operators to drop in and maybe share a story or a memory from the past 6 years. We're up to 73,000 check-ins at this time. So there's been a few interesting conversations and people that have crossed through the Coffee Break in the past 6 years. Well, let's get this morning underway. Let's see, let's take a look at the national and international days, and then we'll take some check-ins. I wouldn't want to be a bus driver or a transit driver. You certainly have interaction with an interesting slice of humanity, day and night, some places 24 hours a day. Today is Transit Driver Appreciation Day, so if you take public transit or any form of transit, give your driver a special appreciation today. The one finger, that's the thumb up for the work they do. Today is Global Recycling Day, and today is Sloppy Joe Day. I know some people maybe outside of the U.S. or North America are not familiar with Sloppy Joe. That is a hamburger type bun with onions, ground beef, tomato sauce, liberally slopped inside of a hamburger bun. Sloppy Joe Day. And maybe one of those awkward moments happened after you ingested too many Sloppy Joes. Today is also Awkward Moments Day. If you've gotten over the shame, maybe you would want to share an awkward moment that you've had in your life. Maybe it's checking into the Coffee Break Net this morning, not sure. Good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. I'm Brian, AI6US, and we are going to start taking check-ins. Going to start out with folks in Northern California. Northern California check-ins, and then we'll go into folks coming in through internet from other parts of the country. So if you're a station coming in and you are located in Northern California, come now, and these will be quick in and outs. We'll keep these check-ins under 2 minutes, a single flip of the soft egg timer. So Northern California stations at this time, please.
Good morning, Brian. Kilo Golf 6, November, Lima Whiskey.
November 6, Charlie Kilo Victor.
Kilo Oscar 6, Indy Hotel Juliet. Charlie Delta Quebec, Rick in North Highlands. All right, I lost the key and I heard a station, So, yeah, no early jumps on me. Good morning, KO6CDQ. Good morning there, Rick, and KO6IHJ. Good morning, Larry. And good morning, N6CKV Carl. And good morning, let's see, I'm going to throw you at the end of the list because you jumped on my tail, or you were transmitting when I let up the key. KG6NLW. Good morning, Frank. And now, folks coming in through the internet from other parts of the country.
KJ5 W6EK November. November 6 Delta Tango.
KD3HAN.
All right, good morning, Anna, KD3HAN. And good morning, Rick, N6DT. Sounds like you're checking in from the other room. Good morning, N9MUF. Good morning, Daniel, KJ5GWN. Good morning, Will. Did I miss anyone? All right, just a reminder, these are quick in and out, so please keep our Q's under 2 minutes. N6CKV, good morning, Carl. Happy Wednesday.
Good morning, Brian, and everyone else out there. Yeah, the sun's starting to come up. It looks like a nice day. I got a class on pain management later on today. Other than that, not much to do. I'm slowly getting things done around the house. Back to you, Brian.
Will, how are the pain management classes going? When I think of a class, you're training something to do something. So when they're teaching you about pain management, what any tips you want to share?
The biggest tip he's given us so far is to relieve stress, and he's given us lots of hints as to how to do that. But yeah, stress adds to the pain, although my pain is pretty much gone with the peripheral nerve stimulator, so I'm doing really good right now.
Oh, that is awesome to hear. Once again, technology comes through in a great way. I'm glad to hear that's working for you. Yeah, and relieving stress. Stress can certainly be the cause of many ailments, that is for sure. Well, good morning to you, Carl, and good morning to Ruth, and you have an absolutely wonderful Wednesday.
Thanks for that, Brian. You too. Everyone have a good Wednesday. This is N6CKV. I'm going to say 73 and hi to Lynn.
All right, I will pass it on. Thank you very much, Carl. You have a wonderful day. Good morning, Larry, KO6IHJ. What do engineers wear under their lab coats?
Khakis. Good morning, Brian. KO6IHJ. Tom and I are here in the shack. We got a couple of projects. There was a comment about my balance paying a 100 watt amplifier, so I'm going to reshoot that with something prettier. Other than that, we're just going to play radio today. Take it easy. Hope everybody's doing the same thing. Or go out and do some stuff. Hey there. Everybody have a blessed day. KO6IHJ 73. That's a quick in and out.
All right, Larry, and thank you for offering to jump in there last evening and help us figure out what was going on with the interference that we had on the repeater last night. Appreciate you doing that. KO6IHJ, AI6US. And good morning, Rick, KD6CDQ.
Good morning, Brian in the net. How are you doing this wonderful day after St. Patty's Day's dinners? Mine came out pretty darn good last night. Definitely enjoyed it, especially with that mug of Guinness draft that I was drinking. Yeah, I don't know if this counts, but I used to work on light rail back around 2007 as an armed security officer. And I'll tell you what, you see a lot of horrible things when you work in light rail. And there was some nights I kind of pulled my hair out.
Yeah, I'm sure, especially in some of those off-hour times, you definitely see an interesting cross-section of society passing through those doors. But I did not know that about you. Hey, very good. Yeah, give your mic cable a replug or a wiggle. You're getting a lot of ruffling sound in this morning, and sometimes I know that might be a microphone connection or something like that. But hopefully hopefully the corned beef and cabbage treated you well overnight, and you didn't keep yourself awake.
Well, I'll tell you what, these last 3 days have been a revelation because I'm starting to get back to where I want to be. I'm sleeping during the night and staying awake during the day and finally feeling like a human again. So, yeah. And incidentally, on light rail, the worst times were between 4 and 6 o'clock. Because guess who was getting on the light rail? The kiddies out of school.
Oh, man. Yeah. I guess it's easier to blame it on the older adults who don't have control of their lives, but yeah. Kids nowadays, we'll just leave it at that. Kids nowadays. I remember when I was growing up, you would get a whooping if I was that troublemaker on your light rail. Rick, have a wonderful Wednesday.
And Brian and the rest of it, you too, all I can say is I'm so glad I don't work light rail anymore. I went on to bigger and better things and started working at the Bank of Americas. That gets interesting too. This is KD6CDQ 73s. Have a good time, everybody.
Went from juvenile misbehaving to corporate misbehaving. Way to go. Rick, have a wonderful day. KD6CDQ, AI6US. And good morning, Frank, KG6NLW. Yeah, kind of reminded you of that line in school, huh? Misbehave, get thrown to the back of the line. Sorry about that. Yeah, I let up the key and you were halfway through your transmission.
Oh, good morning, Brian and Matt. Online, it looked like you'd unpeed. Okay. And thrown to the back of the line. Whoever did that? Then again, I was from a very different generation, too. Rick, I hate to disappoint you. Unfortunately, the security side, they have their own special day later in the year, I think it is. Today is for us transit guys only. Your bus drivers, your light rail drivers, your railroad conductors, me, and engineers. So if you take Amtrak California, SAC-RT, Auburn bus system, Greyhound, any of the above, or if you're anywhere else in the nation, thank your driver, light rail operator, whatever. Bring them a donut or a candy bar or something. Try to make it healthy. You know, some of us are round's the shape for us, and that's how we live. Let's see here. Not much else going on other than that. Getting some stuff done around the Studio Shack today, and we have both Australia and the UK in the chat this morning. So we are literally all sides of the world covered. Brian, I think that's the egg timer. You have a great day, and we'll catch you later. AI6US, KG6NLW.
All right. Well, happy Transit Day. Happy Transit Day. Driver Appreciation Day. Yeah. Let's try that again. Happy Transit Driver Appreciation Day to you. And I saw an interesting story about how, I know you do, I think, freight and not passenger, but I just saw that there possibly is an end of the line for the auto train on the East Coast because Amtrak is no longer supporting the type of cars that are going to be needed, and maintenance can only be done so long on that. So I don't know if you've ever done the auto train on the East Coast, But, yeah, kind of a staple, especially for the winter birds.
No, I never got to do the auto train. Actually, I've never been east of Dallas, so, and that was for business, but that was separate. Anyway, you have a great day, Brian, and let's see here. Klamath, Needle, San Diego. That's about as far as I go.
Well, very good. Well, Frank, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in this morning, and appreciate you being there. KG6NLW, AI6US. And let's head to Oklahoma City. Good morning, Will. KJ5GWN.
Good morning, Brian. Yep, supposed to be warm today. Going to be up in the 80s. Low 90s by the weekend, so we're looking to break records, record highs at least, this weekend. Supposed to cool down next week a little bit, and then I think we're about through with the cold weather here. So anyway, back over to you, Brian. This is KJ5 Golf 60 November.
All right, Will. Will, any field trips planned this week, or are you just hanging around home?
No, not the next week. I got somebody that's going to help me go pick up my medicine at CVS inside Target up here in Oklahoma City. I got to do that one day next week, and then I got to do that again on Monday. So those are my two trips that are coming up in the near future, though. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I know usually you have some dinners planned and trips to your church services and such, but good to hear that you're getting out and about. And springtime hopefully is on the way soon there. KJ5 Golf Whiskey November, AI6US. Have a wonderful Wednesday, Will. 7-3.
Seven threes, Brian. This is KJ5 Golf Whiskey November. We're clear and listening.
Well, as we think about the Midwest and upper Midwest, having a dose of winter again. Good morning, Daniel. N9MUF, if you got your tongue unfrozen from the flagpole, good morning.
Good morning, Brian in the net. Yeah, we got another dose of winter overnight, so that'll keep my son busy shoveling the snow this morning. Should be a good day. I've got an interview coming up in a little over an hour. Been reviewing materials for that and just knew I needed to check in now and then turn all the radios off and focus.
Well, very good. Good to wish you well in the interview, and hopefully it is also for something you are interested in. So I hope that works out for you today. Well, you know, maybe there are advantages to keeping your son around or your kids around until they're in their 30s, living at home. Snow shovelers.
You know, the good thing about my snow machine is it doesn't break down that often.
Oh, that's good to hear. But I imagine it consumes a lot of, it takes a lot of energy. Probably keeps your refrigerator emptied as well.
That's just another side benefit. I know it's clean and the leftovers are taken care of. Well, quick in and out. I've got to deal with the cat that will not get off my lap today. I've been suffering with the heat as a result of that, helping keep, I think she's keeping both of us warm. 7-3 to the net, to you in the net, Brian, and 9MUF.
As you mentioned, the cat, somehow I picture the Zoom interview going well until the cattail keeps sweeping through the bottom of the screen and tickling your chin and nose. Good luck with that interview, Daniel. Certainly wish you well. N9 NUF AI 6US Coffee Break. Good morning, Rick. N6DT. Uh-oh, maybe life got in the way of Rick there. N6DT. Rick, you there? Let's head on back to Pennsylvania. Good morning, Anna. Hope you're feeling better today. KD3HAN.
Good morning, Brian, and everyone else on the net this morning. Well, I feel a little better, but I decided to stay home today just to relax and take care of myself, because tomorrow we have a training for our power plant drill, and I want to be able to go to that. It's right before our radio club meeting. So I'm hoping that I can get there because I'd like to participate in the power plant drill this year.
Boy, that is something that we don't have out this way, and I've never heard of before. What is a power plant training drill?
They create different scenarios that could happen, and what the ham radio operators do is they go to different locations and they pass messages back and forth between the emergency management people. And I really want to be involved this year. I've heard of it, and I listened to the drill last year, but I didn't get involved. But this year I want to do that, so I have to go to the training tomorrow night to do that.
What a great relationship between the amateur radio community and that service. That's awesome. I've never heard of that before. What type of generation plant is it? Fuel? What type of generation is it?
It's a fuel plant, and they like to be prepared in case there would be any kind of emergency.
That is great. I've never heard of that relationship between the amateur radio community and that. And I kind of look out here, and our power company out here is PG&E, and they just kind of run their own ship, and really don't want anybody from the outside involved in their situation. So, yeah, that's great that you have that relationship with your power generation back there. Well, Anna, you have a wonderful day. I hope you continue to feel better, and so you can get that training class under your belt. And after that training event, I would like to hear more about it.
I will definitely keep you posted. We have a practice drill on May 19th, and then the actual drill is on June 9th. So I will keep you updated, and everyone have a great day. KD3HAN.
Anna, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in this morning. KD3HAN AI6US. And let's go ahead and take another round of quick in and outs as you start your day. I'm Brian, AI6US, looking out the window into a beautiful green forested area, and the sunshine is starting its transit around. I can tell what time of the year is because for about a 4-week period of time, the sun comes right between the trees as it starts moving a little bit farther around to start its rise up into the air. So, right now I have sunshine in my eyes. I'm squinting. It's a beautiful morning. Don't even think for a moment I am complaining. Another round of quick in and outs as we start our day. Who's out there? AI6US for the Coffee Break Net.
Kilo.
Good morning, KC8, Fox Lane Vista, Boston, Ohio. KC8, FQV.
November 6, Mike Sierra. KB6LUV. Good morning.
KB6ED.
Oh, sounded like somebody thought they wanted to check in and then thought better. Just a quick key up on a chunk. Then they went, no, not gonna check into this net. Good morning, KB6ED. Good morning, Ed, and good morning to KB6 LUV, Brett. And good morning, Matt. Matt, I'm going to put you up at the top because I know we missed you the other day. So I want to say a good morning as in your commute time. N6MMS. Good morning, Mark, KC8FQV. And good morning to Corey, KG6PUN. And did I miss anyone? All right, Matt, good morning, N6MMS. Sorry we missed you the other day. Anything for the net today?
N6MMS, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I was curious, are we going to be doing anything with the club when the big boy comes into Colfax in April?
Well, if you want to take the lead and start promoting that, I know last time Big Boy rolled through, we had folks on the repeater here timing where it was so they could station themselves and see it zip by. So I don't know if you're taking the day off. I will appoint you head coordinator for the Big Boy Rail Run.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah, they I guess they're going to have a mini railroad days.
Well, excellent. Yeah, if you want to kind of coordinate the time schedule when it's going to be coming through and kind of do an impromptu net, that's kind of what we did last time it rolled through. And I know Greg KO6TH got some great footage as it rolled through. So yeah, if you want to kind of take a lead on that, and jump on there and coordinate the schedule when they're crossing certain areas are going to be seen, and people could give reports. I know that's what we did last time through.
Comment.
Okay, I can do that. Excellent. And I guess I'll see you at the Hamfest coming up here.
Sounds very good. Well, Matt, I'm glad we got you in this morning. Thanks for the reminder on the Big Boy rolling through. And I heard the comment there. We'll get to you in a moment, just trying to get through the list here. So, excellent. Well, Matt, you have a wonderful day ahead, and thank you for the reminder, and we will be on the lookout for Big Boy. That was a fun one.
Great. N6MMS, AI6US, I'm clear.
All right, we're going to swing over to our secondary host. Go ahead, Frank.
I was about to just text you the info. Big Boy, well, they have the announcement out. It is not confirmed yet, so don't get your hopes up too quick. I am hopeful, and I'm hopeful I'm off to go see it, but it is not fully confirmed yet. Ed has not given the final verdict.
Okay, boy, they're sure doing a lot of PR for not knowing if they're going to do it yet. Yeah, I've seen it probably on at least 8 or 9 different feeds on the internet, so interesting. All right, thanks for that update. Not in stone yet, and then of course we know how the stone can crack and crumble when things break down and trees fall in the way. Good morning. Let's see, up to the top of the list, Corey, KG6PUN.
Hello, Brian. This is KG6PUN. Yeah, I hope I'm coming clear today. Yesterday I was at a place picking up a client at a care facility, and I imagine they have antennas or whatever that were interfering. But am I coming in okay?
Clear.
You are, until somebody keyed up along with you there. But yeah, you're absolutely making it in fine this morning. What do you have for us this morning, sir?
Oh, nothing really. I was just thinking yesterday I was trying to get through and for St. Patty's Day and say that when my kids were little, I made a rule that needle nose pliers are off limits for St. Patty's Day pinching. You know, that would be off limits for me.
That's funny that you mentioned that. I had forgotten that that there was pinching if you were not wearing green. It must be a suppressed bad memory.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I wore a little bit of kind of greenish stuff yesterday. It's just for fun with my clients and stuff. They like that. So anyway, that's all. I don't have anything. Just glad to hear everybody and wish everybody a great day. KG6PUN 73s.
Well, very good. You know, I'm really surprised that did not come up yesterday because, yeah, that is the stuff that kids are made of, looking for somebody who did not wear the visible green. I don't think green on your socks or your underwear counted. Have a great day, Corey. KC8FQV. Good morning, Mark. What do you have for the net?
KC8FQV. I'm down to 15 degrees today. It was. I don't know, it's moving up yet now, but yeah, I went down and got paper out of the paper box, and I forgot to take the phone with me. When I went down, it was 27 degrees. Now, yeah, an hour or two ago, 7:30 was 15 degrees, so it's moving up, so that's good. And yeah, we had that meteor. They were talking about that big boom yesterday. Yeah, they had a video. A lot of people had got shots. There was a guy had it on a truck camera, and his camera, he was driving westbound on Route 90 out in Wheeler County by Route 11 and 7. So I forgot to take the camera with me, and I wanted to see there was a truck next door. Easier to take a picture, and I can see it easier because it's a zoom lens. So, well, the digital zoom on the phone. But everything else is going good. Very busy night. Busy enough last night on net. And I forgot that you had a net last night. So I'll probably hear you guys talk about it more. So we'll send it back to net control, KCFQV.
Yeah, it even made the news out here that I guess it was a 7-ton meteor. Well, at least when it started. I imagine there were little bits and pieces scattered everywhere. I bet you they are scavenging that area. I understand that bits of meteorite can fetch a pretty dollar. So interesting. Well, we did not have a net last night, so I'm not sure. Tuesday evening we don't have a net. So you might have been thinking of someone else there. But tonight we will have. Let's see, tonight is the AlberNet here, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Well, Mark, have a wonderful day. And, that meteor, it was a big boom in your area. I understand it made quite the showing.
All right, yep, we'll send it back. Yeah, just a little earlier I was hearing them talk about something, a couple of things. And I guess that big boy must be the locomotive. Yeah, they hype it up. But you know what happens? They don't want no people there. They'll hype it up, but then it's like, well, we don't want people here. It's like anything anymore. So back it comes, KCFQV.
Yeah, not that way out this way. No, it's there are thousands of people along the route. I know sometimes people get a little stupid and go for the Darwin Award. But, it's, let's see, scheduled. I just looked it up right now. The initial leg is scheduled to be passing through our area here. It's going to be displayed in Roseville April 10th through 11th, then rolling through Colfax to Truckee on April 12th. So, yeah, we'll hopefully be able to catch that if they keep to their schedule. Mark, have a wonderful day. KC8FQV AI6US. And let's check in with Brett now, KB6LUV.
Good morning, AI6US, KB6LUV, Brett here. Yep, good morning, Coffee Break Net. It is lovely outside. I enjoyed the hour and 32 seconds of spring that we had yesterday. Maybe I'll enjoy the other 32 minutes of it today, and then it's on to summer. Hi.
Yeah, yesterday definitely got to be a warm one, especially, I understand, down in the valley. I think yesterday we topped out at about 85 up here, but I know you guys, it's going to continue to get warmer. I think maybe peaking tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, that's what the weather looks like. I mean, I'm sure Mark will let us know, but yeah, it topped out, I think, somewhere around 89, felt somewhere around 120. So, yeah, the body's definitely not used to that yet. So, anywho, it'll be more of pool cleaning day today. I want to say good morning, Mom, Bonnie in Newton, Kansas. Morning, Mom. She's going to have lovely weather today. It's like 77 degrees there today. So, Kansas is going to be lovely. Of course, you know, if you like the weather in Kansas in the springtime, wait 10 minutes and you'll probably not like it. So, still waiting on the Fox. Boo, hiss. Don't know what's going on with that. USPS has no idea where it's at the moment, so we're still trying to track that down. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. Data center recruiting stuff. Oh, and if Daniel N9MUF, if you're still listening, good luck with that interview today, buddy. Knock him dead.
Well, if he knocks him dead, he might not have an employer. Get what you mean, though. Well, good luck with the pool. Now, I remember the first heavy filtration and everything of the year, doing backflow flushes on the filters several times in the springtime. So, yeah, one of the pleasures of you having a pool and not me anymore. Have a great day, Brett, and good morning to Bonnie back in Kansas. KB6LUV AI6US. Yeah, we wish Daniel well in his job interview.
Thank you very much for running the net this morning, Brian. Always a pleasure hearing your voice. Everybody else out there in Coffee Break Net land, have a blessed day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. KB6LUV, be of love. 73, clear and listening.
Well, thank you, Brett. Those were kind words. I kind of felt like I was being an ogre today. It's my Friday, you know. KB6LUV AI6US. Let's check in with Ed. KB6ED. I enjoyed, even though I didn't have any 3D glasses, I enjoyed looking at your site, rubyblue.com yesterday. Went through and took a look at a lot of your photographs, and you should give up your day job. You're quite the photographer.
Good morning, Brian and the net. Well, thank you for that. One of the things I didn't mention is that I actually sold canvas prints in some of the galleries there in Hawaii. They would come with a kind of a made-up set of 3D glasses that would hang on the wall next to the print, and so that was a lot of fun. Anyway, today, you know, I often share my foolishness on this net, and it's National Awkward Moments Day, so, you know, why not? I got to tell you that I was a new guy at Travis Air Force Base, and they handed me a radio, gave me a call sign, Baker 19, and control said, we need you to drive your vehicle out to the other side of the runway, the control tower. It was a foggy, you know, it often gets foggy in the mornings there at Travis. Could be quite foggy. And anyway, they said, we need you to drive the route out. There was a road, or there is a road that goes clear around the base, and they said, we need you to drive to the opposite side of the runway because the tower needs a visibility check. So, being a good soldier, I did that. Drove right on out there, got to the other side. They said, get out of your vehicle and raise up your right arm. And I did, and they said, now raise up your left arm, visibility check. And so I did, and they said, Baker 19, control says, tower says, you're clear for takeoff.
Well, I thought that they were going to do some sniper training there. Or I envisioned that you were crossing the runway or took the runway instead of the siding road. Well, it could have been more awkward, and you're here to tell us about it.
I've had a lot of awkward moments, as I'm sure a lot of people have, and I don't know, I felt bad about them when I was younger. I guess when you get older, they kind of roll off your back more, because I can't imagine that I've gotten any smarter. But anyway, in and out, this has been fun. K6CD, 7th.
Boy, you certainly spoke truth there, Ed. I think, there are moments that I remember when I was younger that I'm still kind of shaking my head like, did you really do that? An awkward moment for my mom was, as a kid, we had a refuse dump area that was very near our house and near the school, kind of where the school, Auburn Academy, would do all their dumps from dorm cleanouts and everything. This was back in the open pit days, and of course, as a 7-year-old, you always, took your BB gun over there and plinked at stuff and brought stuff home. Well, I found this nice little vase of flowers that I thought, this would be a wonderful gift for my second grade teacher. So I took them home and gave them to the teacher the next day, and my teacher shared with my mom at the next parent-teacher conference that she really enjoyed the flowers, but she asked me, where did you get them? And I was very truthful. And my mom was very, up until she shared the story with me a few weeks before she passed this last year, of how embarrassed she was. What an awkward moment. The teacher asking me where you got that beautiful vase of flowers for her. Well, I got it at the dump, of course, like any second grader would say. There you go. Not as good as holding my hands upwards at Travis Air Force Base, but that was my mom's awkward moment. I just thought, I thought I'd done a cool thing. Ed, have a wonderful day.
I think in your heart you did do a cool thing. You have a wonderful day too, Brian. Clear.
And the teacher told my mom some years later, after that, I never asked another child where they got the gift from. Now, if it was an apple on her desk and it had a bite mark out of it, I probably would still ask where it came from. Ed, have a wonderful day. Happy Sloppy Joe Day, by the way. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. As we get older in life, those awkward moments are, deal with it. AI6US, taking check-ins. Let's do one more round. Let's make one more round of just quick in and outs. Anybody?
Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, over.
All by yourself. Good morning, Robert. K06KMR, the lone survivor for this round. Good morning.
Yeah, that's for the show here, but I do appreciate it. Nothing going on, just wanted to listen, drinking a cup of coffee, kind of got up late this morning and going to do yard work, over.
Oh, yep, it's that time of year. The yard is calling. Absolutely. I noticed that it was time to get the weed sprayer out. This year's going to be fierce.
Yeah, looks like I missed the spring fertilized to keep the weeds down a little bit, so looks like I've got a good crop growing there. But other than that, I'll do a little studying on the extra class thing, and by the way, that was great last night, the extra class. So getting close, going to take the test tomorrow, like I said yesterday, and just get an early start at it and see how I do, over.
Well, certainly wish you well on your exam, and hopefully we'll hear you come in on Friday as KO6KMR/AE. So yeah, we'll see what you come up with there. Well, Robert, you have a wonderful day ahead. Stay ahead of the weeds.
I'll do my best, over. Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, going to monitor, over.
All right, as if we don't have enough yard work around here, we had a tree fall near our vault, which is blocking our regular walkway to the vault. So, yeah, Doug and I are going to be firing up the chainsaw and taking care of the fallen tree. So, if you ever think that you don't have enough work on your own property, start taking care of somebody else's. KO6KMR AI6US. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's go ahead and take regular check-ins. If you are short on time and can't hang around for rag chew, let me know that you want to be a quick in and out, and I will put you at the top of the list. Good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net.
Good morning, Brian. Quick in and out. Just taking a moment to say hello.
And good morning, Brian. This is WB6BJN. Put me at the bottom of the list.
N5TIN. Good morning, Brian.
And KO6TH. Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Greg, KO6TH. Good morning to Steve, N5TIN. Good morning, Mark, WB6BJN. We'll put you down there at the bottom. Thank you very much. And a station that sounded like Peter, but no call sign. Was that you, Peter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I gave it. See what happens when I only have one cup of coffee. Yes, Brian, it's me. KD6QZH.
All right. I thought it was you there, Peter. KD6QZH. Very good. Did I miss anyone? All right. Good morning. Let's start with you, Peter. And yeah, sorry that that work got in the way of check-in. But good morning to you. What do you have for the net today?
Not much. It's going to be pretty warm in our region, so everybody take care and make sure you don't get too hot. Next couple of days, it's supposed to set some records, so health is important. Thoughts or prayers are with everybody who's affected by weather and other events happening in the world. It's going to be a quiet day, just work, and I'm going to get back to it because I want you to know that your text dollars are doing good today. KD6QZH, back to you.
Well, I really question. I was thinking the other day, what if I submit my taxes this year and withdraw the tariff tax that I paid as a credit? I wonder how well that would go over. I don't know. You know, we pay our taxes, and I'm glad to hear that you are going to show that our taxes are doing some good. I kind of question that in certain days. Have a wonderful day, Peter. 7-3. Thanks for checking in. Happy Wednesday.
You shouldn't be questioning that when I'm on the job. Anybody else, fine. Just kidding, but I work hard. KD6Q, getting back to it.
Oh, I didn't think that you were sitting on a beach somewhere with a pina colada. Thanks, Peter. Have a great day. Clearing with KD6QZH, and good morning, Steve. N5TIN. What do you have for the net this morning?
Good morning, Brian and the net. It's not a whole lot, I guess. It's a gorgeous day here, blue skies. Coming off a couple of unseasonably chilly mornings. I think it was 33 yesterday and 37 or so the day before. And they tell us in about 2 days we're going to be up in the 90s again. So the old expression, if you don't like the weather in Texas, you know, wait 5 minutes and it'll change, seems to be apt.
Yeah. Well, we have a little bit more stability to our weather right now. It's kind of in a predictable march towards summer. And I think the unpredictability is kind of behind us now. But, of course, the moment I say that, Mother Nature will prove me wrong. Well, did you get enough moisture going into the summer months?
Regrettably, no. Last string of storms that came through only provided about a half an inch of rain for me, and so we're still pretty much hurting in terms of that. So last weekend we had 3 or 4 consecutive days of red flag warnings due to the high winds we were experiencing, along with the dryness. Yesterday, Monday morning, I woke up and heard a lot of sirens, and I was quite concerned that those sirens were fire trucks rolling to a brush fire, but that turned out not to be the case. Thank goodness.
Wow. Okay. Way too early to be dealing with wildfires and everything else, and I know you have a high dependence on water collection, and then you have to make up for the difference. So what do you have for, do you have anything available for fire suppression?
I do have a connection on the side of my cistern, and so the fire department can hook up to that for a supply if they need to. But a lot of the stuff I've done around here is just kind of common sense. We only have one tree that's really even close to our house, and I told my wife that if a fire ever starts coming close, she should say goodbye to that tree, because I'll be out there with a chainsaw cutting it down. But the house itself is also designed in a way that's most of the exterior is, you know, fire resistant. It's stone, stucco, and a metal roof. So, knock on wood, I don't want to have to test it.
Well, it's quite interesting. You know, we were doing the consideration of going to a metal roof versus what we have now, which is typical asphalt tap shingles. And the fire rating is, you would think a sheet of metal would have a much better fire rating, but not necessarily so. It's very close. But, what we've had to do, because we live on the urban fire boundary, is all of our venting, in order to get occupancy, we had to have the collapsing cell on all of our vents. So all vents, if they're exposed to heat, the cell, which is very similar to a bee comb, collapses and seals off that vent, which keeps, of course, the draft from drawing in flames and embers and such.
Well, that's interesting. I'm not familiar with that. Interesting. I don't know if anybody around here has ever done or looked into that. I'll have to check on that with some of my neighbors and see if they've heard of those things. Of course, we're not nearly, I suppose, as familiar with that particular problem of wildfires as some areas of, Southern California for sure.
Yeah, Southern California has their season, but up north here, us and Southern Oregon, definitely, it's become part of our summer ritual up here. And told my wife if there's one thing that would get us to move out of Northern California is the constant threat of wildfire during the summer. But yeah, this was code when we moved here, about 13, 14 years ago now. So it actually was code for our area. So quite expensive, a regular vent, maybe $5 to $10 for a regular screened vented cover. And when they told us we would need to have, the fire-approved venting, I thought, they just want venting with a mesh cover. Then I went shopping, and at that time, our vents, instead of being like a $8 vent at Home Depot, turned into I think at the time they were around $60, $70 for the same vent. So, to give proper ventilation, that definitely was an unexpected expense, but certainly if they work, that's the main reason that wildfires get into a home is through the venting.
Interesting. A couple years back, I guess it's been 2 years now, or a year and a half, I had the opportunity to go to Portugal for a trip, and they actually have a weird, I wouldn't say weird, but they have a problem there with wildfires as well, because they have imported eucalyptus trees and plant them as a cash crop for the making of paper. And, those things burn like torches when they get up. So they're very worried now about wildfires and, of all places, Portugal.
Quite interesting. I watch a video on YouTube, and the couple is building a home in what used to be a flour mill from, a 400 or 500-year-old flour mill along a creek. And they, first thing they had to do was rid their property of the eucalyptus trees. And, I never realized it was such a problem, but eucalyptus trees are everywhere, and talk about a good flammable oil.
Yeah, they have the eucalyptus, and here where I live we have the ash junipers, which is colloquially referred to as cedars, or not true cedars, but it's a rough equivalent to living in a Christmas tree farm, I suppose.
Well, I had a Christmas tree farm with my dad and brother up in Oregon. Maybe it's the proximity to the Northwest. We certainly didn't worry about wildfires, but perfect height. The Christmas trees, especially grown. I know it can be a problem back in like Georgia and other places where they grow pine Christmas trees. That having those low trees fully bushed out near the ground and no height above the ground certainly can be quite the fire torch.
Yeah, and the local folks around here, periodically will need to clear a piece of land, and they'll make big piles of stuff and want to burn them as a disposal method. And right now they can't. I talked to one of the local hams, I guess it was yesterday morning, at breakfast. We were chatting, and he said that he had four big piles that he really needed to set off, but he can't do it because it's so dry that we've got a county-wide ban on outdoor burning right now.
Boy, what a way to come into the summer months. But I know that probably you and I know Oklahoma have already been fighting numerous wildfires already this season. Well, certainly wish you well, because I know you have to make up for any water shortfalls with your wallet.
Yes, that's true. Fortunately, we're not high consumers at this point, although my wife tells me she has some more landscaping projects in mind, so that will probably lead to some water purchasing if we don't get some rain fairly soon. I'm hoping that when Mark comes on here in a little bit, maybe he'll have a good weather forecast, and he'll have some rain coming a week or so out, maybe. We'll see. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say that when I looked you up on QRZ the other day, I saw the picture of your shack, and I got to say that is a very impressive chair.
You know, that chair is being replaced right now. I love that chair. It's a gaming chair. It was very comfortable, had great lumbar support, but it kept dropping to the ground. I replaced the wheels on it because when I bought it, it just had plastic or poly outriggers with the wheels, and one of the hubs broke going out to the wheels, so I had to replace that. But then the center riser piston started failing, and I'd be in the middle of the net, and suddenly it would drop 6 inches. And so I went, I'm gonna take the handwriting on the wall here. So I actually ordered another replacement chair, and this time I decided to spend $200 instead of previous Amazon special of I think it was $120. But yeah, that's just a regular gaming chair, and it is comfortable for contesting and such.
Well, I'm known to fix things. My wife's always having something for me to fix, and I had a chair that had that same problem when I was working at my office, and the piston would collapse on me randomly, and all of a sudden I'd be 6 inches lower than I was a millisecond ago. And I put my Mr. Fix-It hat on, and I went at that thing, and I basically got a short section of PVC pipe, split one side open, and wrapped it around that, making a big spacer so the piston couldn't collapse.
I had a chair that I really liked years ago, and I sleeved the piston with a piece of ABS, and I split it, slipped it over, and that worked great. It just held it right at the perfect height that I always like to use. And on this one, I had tried putting a hose clamp on it, but the hose clamp just always kind of caught and made clicking noises, so it just wasn't optimal. So I just decided, time for a new chair. But yeah, those gaming chairs, they are plentiful on Amazon, and especially you can get them with adjustable lumbar. And I really thought that I would use the headrest more, but I realized that I'm kind of an upright or lean forward when I'm trying to get that rare DX station.
Well, I suppose when my chair finally bites the dust, I may have to check that out. But of course, I'll have to run it past the XYL to make sure it's an acceptable addition to our interior design.
Oh, and how many times does she come into your radio room to admire your operating?
There's not a number that small.
My point. Yes, you probably noticed on my lollipop mic, my wife's call sign is on there, And the agreement was that we would get our call signs printed on either side of that placard, and we would swap them back and forth. But I swapped mine to the front about 6 months after we got the mic or the placard or the flag. And she walked in here and she said, "Why is your call sign on the flag?" And so switched it back to her, flipped that flag around, and so hence the mic stays with her call sign on the flag. So they do sneak into the shack to observe. Well, Steve, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in today, and I hope things improve for you water-wise.
Thanks, Brandon. I hope so, too. By the way, do you know what a RCA 77D is?
Just with that model number, no. I could look it up. What is it?
Classic ribbon microphone from, I don't know what era, probably late 50s, mid-50s, late 50s. It's the one that looks like a big pill capsule. It's also known as the one that Letterman used to have on his desk.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, now that I looked at it, absolutely. And boy, there are a lot of knockoffs with dynamic mics and everything in them. Beautiful, beautiful mic. Don't tell me you have one.
Well, I won't tell you, but it sure looks like I've got one sitting on my shelf.
Those are beautiful microphones. What do you have in it? The original ribbon, or did you update the capsule?
Oh, it's pretty much stock. When it came to me, it was in incredibly bad shape. The windscreen was all bent up. It was, pretty nasty. And I knew a guy that owned a sound studio back then, and this is a long time ago, and he dug out the address and contact info for the RCA shop in New York. It was still around then. So he and I boxed it up and sent it off, and they did a nice restoration job on it. So it's in really good shape.
Yeah, those are beautiful. No, just even on eBay, right? $2,800 for a refurbished one, and they're beautiful. We had a local amateur radio operator who was a Collins expert, Peter Wittenberg, and he had a microphone collection. I think his son kept it after he went silent key, but he just had a microphone collection to stand and admire. He had it in a hobby display cases, and he had one of those RCAs in there, and it's a thing to just look and admire and drool.
I actually had to put a little note on mine so that if anything happens to me, my wife just doesn't take it to the thrift store. I had to put something on there, say this is worth, and then put a dollar sign and an amount on there, so it doesn't end up, in the bargain basement shelf at the local charity.
Look at this old thing. It's not even hooked up to a radio. Put it in the Goodwill box. That would get you rolling over in that box for sure. Yeah, I've kind of done the same thing with Lynn. We've kind of taken a little tour through the shack in case something ever happened to me. I just kind of pointed out the things that probably would have some value. She a couple times looked at me and went, "Really?" Yeah. All right. Hey, Steve, have a wonderful day. And actually came across, by the way, an estate that we were helping the widow with, and he had gone through and put colored labels on the bottom of different things indicating if he thought they were valuable or not, and he was pretty smack on and pretty accurate on there, which was a wonderful gift to leave to her as she just kind of wandered around, not knowing anything about what she was asking us to assist.
Yeah, I need to try to do some of that stuff too. I've got quite a few things that I don't know that my wife would appreciate the value of, so I got some work to do there. But that's a project not for today, but for another one. I've got plenty of other projects for today and tomorrow and the next day. So, but it's on my list of things to do. Brian, with that, I think I'll sign with you and let some other folks have a chance here. So, I hope you have a great day, and everybody else does too out there. And so we'll talk soon. AI6US and Net. This is N5TIN 73 all.
All right. Well, Steve, you have a wonderful day, and great chatting with you this morning. N5TIN, AI6US. And good morning, Greg, KO6TH.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Greg, KO6TH. Busy day yesterday. Spent the afternoon working on the car. With the gas prices and stuff, I don't want to put more fuel into the SUV, so the Roadster's got to get back on the road. It runs, but every so often, way too often, one of the temperature sensors in the motor apparently has a loose connection, and the car freaks out and thinks that the engine's about to melt down and goes into limp home mode, and that's not fun when you're trying to accelerate in traffic. Anyway, I think I found the spot where I was expecting a bad connection and a connector, and did all the deoxit and bending pins back and forth so they can make better connection, that kind of stuff. That didn't help. In fact, it made it worse, which basically told me that I'm getting close. When you can change the result, you're getting close. And so I've been working up the wiring, and I found a spot where some probably 26 gauge wire was spliced to some 18 gauge wire, and with some strain relief. But I think that's where the one of the wires is. When I bend it and wiggle it, I can see a change in the meter. So that's probably where it is. Anyway, so I'm going to finish that today. We had astronomy on tap this afternoon, so that's why I'm getting this fixed up so I can take that car instead of the gas guzzler. Having some fun with a 1 day late lifting a pint. That's it, Brian. KO6TH.
Again, I thought your maintenance program on the Roadster was only vacuuming out the cover. As I recall, there was a intake that would act like a vacuum, and that was your once-a-year maintenance. But very good. A good incentive to get that on the road. I spent an extra $65 to fill up my F-350 last week, and I was just looking at the price, doing a quick calculation in my mind, and this week, if I fill it up again, well, it's going to be next week, so who knows what it's going to be by then, but yeah, it will be an additional $45 my next fill up. We're now well over an additional $110 for a simple fill up on the F-350. So I would be working on the Tesla as well.
Yeah, well, I haven't. I need to do that yearly or thereabouts. Deleafing of the cooling system. There's a for anybody wondering, this was their first car, and they learned some things over time that they did wrong. One of them was they have the engine, the motor, and the motor and the electronics are air cooled, and they have a blower that has the intake underneath the car, and they blow that up through the everything, and out it goes. The intake, there's no screen or fan or filter or anything on it. So as I drive along the highway, I'm vacuuming up all the debris and twigs and leaves and dust and everything else from the road and packing it into the fins of the motor and fortunately the backside of the electronics, not the electronics itself. So at least they did that part right. So yeah, I haven't done that yet this year. I didn't do it last year either, actually. It's about due, but I don't drive the car that much, so it's not that urgent. So anyway, yeah, this connector thing with the sensor thing has been getting worse over the years. The car is 16 years old now. It's 2010, so 16 years old, oh, actually, happy birthday, car! Just turned 16 about 2 months ago. Anyway, it's been like this for many years, but now it's gotten to the point where it's actually a safety issue, so I got to fix it. You mentioned embarrassing moments. I'm going to have one right now and disclose something. My mother, ever the resourceful one, was taking just stuff to the dump one day, and this truck pulls in next to her, and they start unloading this table, beautiful oak table with a broken leg, and she said, "Are you dumping that?" And they said, "Yeah." And she said, "Put it over here." And she brought it home and took a woodworking class, fixed up the leg. It is the table in my living room right now. I am the owner of it now. KO6TH, back to you.
You know, as a kid, I would have been embarrassed to no end if my mother had done that and I was present. But I don't think there's any embarrassment to turning that repaired table into a family heirloom. So, yeah, go easy on yourself there. It's probably a lovely table. It has great memories of your mom, brings a smile to your face, and you will never have to face the person that it was rescued from.
Yeah, fortunately, I wasn't there when she did it. I was at school, I guess. This was many years ago. Just the one, it was, legs at the bottom, one of them had broken off, and just a block of wood, and, shaped and properly treated and stained and varnished and everything else. Beautiful beautiful oak table. Apparently it was cut down from a taller thing and then made into like a coffee table for the living room. So anyway, that's my story. On with the day. The video for the HabFest overview is uploaded. I'll be sending out the notice momentarily here to take a view. I'll include a number of people on it that aren't usually normally people that review these things. Usually it's the VP and the presenter. So Jim, of course, and Frank, but a couple other people that are involved in our setup there, so that we can keep working on the IT department, the AV department, and continue to improve the quality of the data that we present on Zoom and to YouTube. So anyway, look for that in a few minutes, and on with the day. KO6TH, back to you.
Yeah, the problem with putting too many people's approval on a release of the video is accept their comments after you publish it. But I think if Frank gives a thumbs up, publish it, because it is so time sensitive. And who cares what my opinion is? Because I have too many of them. Greg, have a wonderful day. Have a great evening at the Astronomy on Tap. And yeah, that's interesting that they lug together two wires. But I guess, on a first build of a car, you probably use some items on hand, and I think every car I've owned have had hidden splices behind the dash for one reason or another. But Greg, have a wonderful day. And I will never make a comment about that beautiful table with the repaired leg on it. Good story. Thanks for sharing. KO6TH AI6US 73.
73, Brad. Everybody have a good day. Stay cool. Stay cool. KO6TH.
Yeah, it's going to be a warm one today. My body is not ready for it. Good morning, Mark. WB6BJN. What do you have for us today? I was looking at some of the weather, and my gosh, Up north, they're enjoying a return to winter. We are sweating our cactuses off. Good morning.
Let's try this. I was trying to talk into the radio and it wasn't turned on, so I'm using my handheld here. Well, you know what? The winter is just about done here too, and even to our north. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Because the same high pressure that's over you is going to expand, and we'll talk about that. However, right now for California, yes, it's, people think that, well, what's the big deal about 80s and 90s in March? We deal with that all summer long, and then some, 100 plus. That is true, but what people forget, and I had a conversation with a guy that was living in Indianapolis the other night about this, and he was commenting that all these people in California, they're big babies, when they're doing, talking about how hot it is right now. And I reminded him that no, they're not, because your body has to get used to a climate change, a climate situation from the winter. And so what 80s and 90s feel like now is something over 100, and especially a lot of the places are getting high 90s, low to mid to high 90s. And so that at this point, because the body has not gotten used to it, is actually kind of dangerous heat. That's a heat wave for this time of the year. Right, in June or July, that wouldn't be so much the situation, but the fact that we're in early to mid-March, those temperatures are almost unheard of. Back to you for any comments, WB6BJ.
Yeah, no comment here. People like to pick on California. We live here for a reason, and it's not to sweat 10 months out of the year, but no, it's those the first couple of weeks of acclimating after we had a kind of mild winter, but still it's quite a temperature swing to suddenly go into the new season out this way, especially when somebody hits the breaker switch instead of the dimmer.
Yeah, I do it kind of jokingly because I'm back here. When people were complaining about cold in California, and I said, "Oh, you guys don't know what cold is," which is kind of true, but it's all in what your body is used to. I can remember living in California, and when it was foggy and cold outside, that cold went right through you, and it could only be maybe 35 or 40 degrees. So yeah. And I really don't, I've gotten so used to the humidity back here in the summer, I really don't, anymore, it doesn't feel like anything worse than, it's all in how your body adjusts to it. And yeah, it's hotter at night because we have more humidity at night, but we're cooler during the day. And, but you make up for it with the humidity, and it feels like 110 like it does in California, and sometimes worse than that. Anyway, high pressure is going to be the dominant feature, and the peak of the heat is not until Friday. Okay, I heard somebody saying it's tomorrow. It is not. It is Friday. Because what's happening is the high that has come on shore to the central coast is going to move eastward into the desert southwest. Okay, and you'd think, okay, that means it's going to cool off because the center of it has gone past California. Well, not so much, because as it moves towards the desert southwest, it's going to strengthen. And so that keeps the it's actually going to cause it to warm over California because it's going to be stronger than it was over California. So instead of the pressure flattening because of its eastward movement, the fact that it's going to strengthen and it's going to expand a little both west and east, it's actually going to be a couple of degrees warmer on Friday, so it could be 93, 94, and that will be the peak. Now, along the coast, the winds have started to turn a little more onshore, so there's a little fog and low clouds along the, very shallow marine layer. Let me take a break. Very shallow marine layer along the coast, but if you go 5 miles inland, and even along the coast, just right offshore, onshore, it's going to be just as hot, and until maybe later in the weekend, and as that high pressure continues to move east, then things will kind of loosen their grip a little bit, and then things will start to cool off. So next week, around Monday and Tuesday, instead of being 30 degrees above normal, it will be only 10 to 15 degrees above normal. But at least it'll be more bearable. There's places, Brian, in Southern California. I was reading the Los Angeles discussion page. There are places in some of the valley areas of Southern California that are going to be up to 104 degrees between tomorrow and Friday. 90 to 104. That is just crazy. Those are actual temperatures, and it's absolutely wild. And still, the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook for California calls for above normal temperatures and below normal rainfall. So anybody's looking for rain anytime soon in California, you're not going to get it. Maybe by the very end of March, and even that looks real light. So we'll see. Now, I haven't quite sloughed off a freeze for California, because if this pattern decides to flip, like the big flip we had in January, it would be interesting to see what happens if cold air rushes in. That's, because you could get freezes clear into April, and we can back here as well. Back over there to you, WB6BJ.
Okay, very good. Well, I am just listening along, nodding my head, and continue on.
Oh, just a few minutes ago, it was raining here. Let's see, let me check something. Let's see. 30.20.4 on the barometer, and it's steady. Let's see, 44.4 degrees. It feels like 41. Humidity, 50%. That's pretty dry. Last lightning stroke was 3 days ago on the 15th. 3 gusting to 11 from the south-southwest. But we just had a shower go through that dropped 1/100th of an inch of rain. Woohoo, not much, but it was 1/100th of an inch. And so what has happened, that's the reason we got that little bit of rain. That was, they thought last night it was going to snow, some flurries. But the 1/100th of an inch of rain came from a clipper, what they call an Alberta clipper. And the temperature was warmer today. We had a low of 35.4. Yesterday we had a low of 21.4 yesterday, and 34.9 this morning. And yesterday's high was 38, and we're already 44 degrees, so we're above yesterday's high. So what's going to happen? The high pressure that's over California is going to start moving eastward at the same time that it's still going to be hot over California. So it's going to expand eastward from the desert southwest, and places like Kansas, in the state of Kansas and parts of Oklahoma are going to be in the 90s by Friday. We're going to be in the upper 70s to 80s after having a high yesterday of 38 and a high of 34 the day before. And so the middle of the United States is going to start getting warm thanks to the high pressure that's over the west coast. It's going to expand eastward. And it's going to be sunny, and maybe, just maybe, I can go out Saturday and sit in the sun. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that. St. Thomas wants me to pre-register for my appointment, but I had to stop them from talking. So anyway, so that's the deal. It's going to get warm every day, everywhere, and Friday is the first day of spring. So it's going to feel like spring everywhere. Back to you there, Brian, WB6BJ.
Well, I'm glad you just said no to walking us through your scheduling process. Very, very good. Well, thank you for the weather updates there. And, yeah, it seems to be the East Coast, that weather conditions are starting to stabilize for everybody. But, boy, that was sure about a weather that everyone went through. Now we crank up the heat and welcome at least an early burst of summer. Way too early to be dealing with this, though. Well, good morning to you. Good morning to Sarah. And I hope that you are enjoying that new 590 SG.
Comment?
Brian, we're absolutely enjoying the 590 SG, and it's wonderful. I think we have a comment in there.
Yeah, go ahead, Graydon, with your comment.
Yeah, KC6, absolutely. Waymark was still on there. You know, I was watching the weather last night on the evening news, and even though this is, I wouldn't call it unusual or out of the norm, they were actually showing historically this happens every so many years in the West. In fact, they were showing the data going all the way back to the early 1900s. The last one I saw was 1914, where there were temperatures at this time of the year across the West Coast in the 90s. So it seems to be part of the everyday cycle that California and the West go through. I'm just going to make that comment. KC6, SLE.
Yeah, Graydon, and this is why, let me tell you, and I don't want to be political here, but I'm going to say this. This is why I have problems with this so-called global warming. And I agree that we've had some sort of climate change a little bit, but you know, these things historically happen, and you know, that's really all I have to say. And a lot of what's going on with our weather, I believe, is because of what's going on the sun. Solar flares, sunspots. I used to hear a guy by the name of Harry Geis when I was growing up, and he believed that solar flux, the sunspot cycle, and I agree, has a lot to do with this. And yep, those things historically repeat themselves. I couldn't agree more. WB6BJ.
Yeah, it's just an observation. You know, I have read reports where the solar radiation from the sun has increased, but you never hear anybody talking about that. So anyway, that is my observation for the day. Thank you, Brian. KC6, SLE.
Well, I doubled with you there, Graydon. So, all right. There we go. Yeah, nothing political about observations there, Mark. Mark, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in this morning. And we'll catch up with you another morning. WB6BJN, AI6US. And back over to you there, Graydon. You had a comment, and I rudely controlled the net over the top of you.
No, I was just pointing out it was an observation, and then I've seen reports that the sun is actually, blessing us with additional solar radiation, but it's not something I normally see factored into the overall discussion, and I'll leave it at that. So as long as I'm here, I'm getting ready to do some weed whacking. My son and I did about an acre yesterday. The grass is thick, it's tall. If you haven't started your weed abatement, it's a lot of work. We worked hard yesterday to do it, plus the temperatures. And I'm getting ready to do a burn. So I wanted the area we concentrated on yesterday was clearing the area around where the burn's going to take place. And I'll be very, very careful today burning. With that, I'll turn it back to the net. Thanks, Brian. KC6, SLE.
Yep, I don't know what the end date is for the burn for our area here, but I know it's going to be probably coming up a lot sooner than normal this year. So getting ready to be locked out of the forest again. Hopefully that doesn't happen this year. Sometimes they lock the gates on dry camping up in the Tahoe and the Sierras. So hopefully that doesn't happen too early this year. Graydon, have a wonderful day. Good morning to Grady. Good morning to Lisa. And happy weed whacking to all of our friends over in the UK. Weed whacking is not dirty. Well, it's an agricultural job with a weed trimmer. So Graydon is going to be weed trimming, not whacking. Good morning. Good morning. Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's take some more check-ins. Who's out there this morning?
N2DYI.
KM6, LYW, cool.
All right, sounds like
Kilo 5 Alpha Bravo November.
KM6LYW, and good morning to Patrick good after morning, Patrick, into DYI. And there might have been another station trying to get in. Did I miss anyone?
Kilo 5 Alpha Bravo November.
Kilo 6 GXX.
Kilo 6 Delta Charlie Lima, good morning.
Good morning, Dave, K6DCL, and good morning to Marty, KO6GXX, and good morning to K5ABN. I think that's a new call sign for me, so we'll be back to you in a moment. And good morning up to the top of the list into DYI. Good after morning, Patrick.
Hey, good morning, Brian, and everyone on the net. I hope everyone's doing well. My radio day started out kind of interesting. I turned on the radio, the HT that I'm using now, to listen to the Coffee Break Net. Somehow accidentally turned the volume knob all the way up, and someone was talking. I won't mention their name, Greg, or their call sign, KO6TH, and now my speaker doesn't sound right anymore. So I have to actually turn it up a little more. Otherwise, at low volumes, it's all, well, you know what a blown speaker sounds like. I have that problem with this HT now.
And that's all because of Greg, KO6TH. Well, operator error destroys radio. Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about that one resonant frequency at one time. It could have been anybody at any point, but it just happened to be Greg. But yeah, it's messed up. Fortunately, I do have another HT at home, actually two of them, that are not quite working right, that have the same speaker, so at some point I should be able to swap them out without having to buy a new radio.
You know, it's the radio's just, you know, the components typically are not replaced. They, you know, like the speakers, quite often I've seen in HTs, the ones that are inexpensive and imported, molded right in. You know, they glue them down or mold them into clips, and not meant to be user replaceable. Microphone elements as well, kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I can. I took one of my other HTs apart, and I'm relatively sure, based on that from a few years ago when I did that, that I can replace the speaker on this one. But yeah, a lot of them are like that. This is a TYT. This is an MD UV 380, and I have two original MD 380s. They look exactly the same on the outside. They're totally different radios on the inside. The 380s are single band and a lot less capable, but they have the same speaker and the same microphone in them, so I can use those for parts, I guess.
Curious, I've noticed a lot of speakers lately are a poly material rather than a paper, or maybe highly embedded with poly materials. Probably, you know, rather than just using a membrane for water rejection. But I was just kind of wondering what kind of speakers those are. Maybe a Mylar?
I don't recall. I need to look again. I will have to at some point. But I think these are just regular paper cones. Certainly the speaker in the Shark RF mic, when I took that apart, that's some kind of polyplastic something all the way through. I'm not sure what that material is. It's really thin because the whole thing just makes direct contact with the PCB, so there's not all that much to it.
Yeah, somebody had checked in yesterday and had commented how, you know, people did not like the Shark mic, the Shark RF M1KE, and a lot of complaints about the build quality, things like that, which I really had not. Maybe I didn't tune in enough to hear people having complaints, but I know that you had sent yours in for a warranty repair replacement. How did they handle that for you?
Well, truth is, I still haven't actually gotten around to doing that. I think they'll handle it just fine, but I have to have to do my part.
Oh, okay. I won't bring it up again. Alrighty. No, I just hadn't heard anyone complaining about the build quality on them, and so I knew you had some issue with I think it was the microphone element or something that you thought was more software based or internal hardware component. But yeah, I was just kind of curious on that. Anyway, well, Patrick, good morning to you. What a way to start your day.
For real, I mean, the coffee break definitely has an impact on my life. Yeah, the microphone problem that I have with my mic, I am 98.12% sure it's a physical problem. It almost sounds like a cavity has opened up somewhere. It's like, I mean, there's not a lot of tolerance between where the microphone meets the case and all that, and it's gained this nasty resonance sound around maybe 700 hertz. It's just really boxy all of a sudden. It used to not be like that, so not sure what happened. I don't know. I did drop it once or twice, so it's possible that, you know, it just got knocked a little bit. I actually did take the board out, and I looked, and I had other people look, and nobody could tell that there was anything obvious, but maybe, you know, with as little tolerance as these things have, something just got knocked a little bit. And that was all it took. So, yeah, I need to actually get back with them about that and finally get this thing fixed. It's just kind of been sitting here for a month waiting for me to do something about it.
Well, certainly, when that occurs, let us know. I'd like to know what their experience is, because in the back of my head, I went, "Oh man, you have to ship it back to Europe," and no, got a service center here in the U.S. So good for them. Kudos to them. Well, good day to you there, Patrick. You have a wonderful Wednesday, hump day, and appreciate you stopping by.
Will do, Brian. Good to hear you as always. And yeah, 26 degrees this morning, and it's going to be 81 by Sunday. That's totally normal behavior. If you have a working sarcasm detector, it should now be flashing and beeping. 73 Brian, AI6US, N2DYI.
Flashing, beeping, and repeating. Yeah, strange weather. And, no matter where you live, the body has a hard time acclimating to that range, for sure. KM6LYW, good morning, Craig. Sounds like you're out and about on maybe a walkabout.
Good before noon, Brian. Yes, I am out and about, actually going to ophthalmology, the retina surgeon. I'm going to work on central serous retinopathy. It's not just a clever name. It's a lot of fun. But no, it's no big deal. And otherwise, yeah, I've never heard of a remote denial of service attack in ham radio. I think that's another first. So congratulations to Greg. And hey, when it comes to radio parts, I've had really good luck with Yaesu for HT parts. They're really cheap. In fact, you can get a speaker and a whole clamshell and a keypad for like $35. If you've hopelessly smashed your radio all up. So yeah, I think you might be surprised. Just go to the part supplier for your particular brand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the part supplier on that brand, probably it would be cheaper for them just to drop in a new HT. Surprising. Yaesu sold you component parts to do the repair yourself?
Yeah, they have a parts department down in Los Angeles, so they're really accommodating, and the prices are shockingly good. I buy little things like the rotary encoder, like $8. The clamshell case, is maybe $30. A new keypad for $8. That kind of stuff. So if your screen's all scratched up, for $30, you can renew your radio there with Yaesu at least. I can't speak for any other brands. Hey, in other news, let's see, YouTube, we've got AI and ham radio. I don't know, how do you use AI with ham radio? What else have we got? We've also got DigiPi development, and we're driving, with the latest changes, we were able to commit to Direwolf. We can now drive the Bluetooth TNC on the Kenwood, the UV Pro, and the Vero models, so we can do completely wireless DigiPi. At least coming soon. The technology only works on my desk at the moment, but it's kind of an exciting technology, the Bluetooth TNCs. Go ahead.
Kind of interesting. I don't know if you recall a conversation that you and I had when the Veros first came out, and I was curiously probing for, hey, could this technology be integrated? And I guess because of the changes in the Vero operating system, or their firmware, that is now allowed. So very cool to be able to go wireless from your keyboard or into the device using Bluetooth. That gets rid of some wires and tripping hazards when you're out there portable, especially.
Yeah, and I got to admit, that's the biggest hang-up for most people is how to connect your radio to a Raspberry Pi or any computer, right? Because there's no standard. It's different for every rig. I mean, if you got USB, great, but if you've got audio in, audio out, ground, and push, you just lose people. But yeah, with a simple Bluetooth pairing, we can actually enslave that TNC and make your Vero or your UV Pro into an AX.25 network node or Digipeater. There's a lot of cool possibilities above and beyond the I hate to say anything disparaging, but the app that comes with those radios it just sucks. So, yeah, exciting DigiPi stuff coming up. It's not there yet, but the bleeding edge development versions of Direwolf now have the commits we need to enslave one of those cool Bluetooth TNCs. Back to you.
That is very, very cool. Well, looking forward to keeping us updated on that when that becomes a release. Glad to hear that it works on your bench. That means if you're talking about it, probably you'll be working on other people's devices again soon as well. Very cool. So was this a development in Direwolf, or was this that you were able to integrate? How did this come about?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little complicated to describe over the radio, but ultimately, Direwolf is the TNC and sound modem that's like the gold standard for PCs, Raspberry Pis. It does digirepeating, it does AX.25 network, it does everything. It does the 1200 baud, 9600 baud, it do HF packet, it does everything, so, but there was no way to like have a TNC drive a TNC until just now, so they're kind of subordinate master-slave kind of configuration. We couldn't do that before, because I was like, well, how do you make a TNC drive a TNC? It doesn't make sense, but it's wireless, and that's all the users care about. They want cheap and easy, man, and this is that.
That's why we like talking to you, Craig. Cheap and easy. Well, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for that update. Looking forward to hearing more about the development, and kudos to you. That will be a neat integration.
All right, well, thank you, Brian, for hosting the net. You know, I'm usually listening, but I don't always key up here. I am going through the Auburn Ravine right now, and I'm actually kind of surprised I'm still getting in, probably through Georgetown. So giving it back to you, I'm heading into the retina surgeon. It's going to be a lovely day. KM6LYW, Craig in Auburn.
No, you're 100% mountaintop voter in Auburn, and just a wee bit into Georgetown. So that's how the signal propagates. You have a great day, and good luck with the procedure there. I have and before I let you go, I know you gave a nice medical description of what is going on, but what is this procedure? What are you dealing with there, if you don't mind saying?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not terribly exciting, but if you ever get steroids at some point and your vision goes to crap, you probably have central serous retinopathy, and that's macular edema, fluid buildup, basically a blister on your retina. And they've got some cool cold laser surgeries they can do. It's really non-invasive. So it's a miracle technology, common disease. I'm not worried about it or anything, but just kind of screws up an otherwise great day here in California. Back to you, Brian.
Well, as long as it makes the sunshine brighter, the skies bluer, and the trees greener, and the Golden State grasses more golden, go for it. I wish you well in the procedure. Hopefully there is no complication, and we'll look forward to hearing positive results from this. So, Craig, have a wonderful day. Always a pleasure to have you stop by. KM6LYW, AI6US, 73.
73.
All right, this is a new call sign for me, K5ABN. Welcome. Name here is Brian, and welcome to the Coffee Break Net.
Kilo 5 Alpha Bravo November. Good morning to you, Brian. Name here is Travis. Tango Romeo Alpha Victor India Sierra, Northwest Arkansas.
All right, well, welcome from Northwest Arkansas there, Travis, and glad that you found the Coffee Break Net. Yeah, we're a conversation-based net, and we're typically around 7 days a week, 365, well, probably more like 365 3 days a year. But welcome. And what do you have for the net this morning? You've probably been listening into a couple conversations. As you know, we just kind of drift around to what people want to talk about.
Okay, roger that. Yeah. Well, heck, I'm going to have to cut it short here. I got to go help my grandpa here get his lawnmower started. He's fixing to try and mow the yard here. So I'm going to say 73 from Kilo 5, Alpha Bravo November.
All right, Travis. Well, very good. Yeah, if you want to keep your check-in short like this, just let me know. You want to be a quick in and out when you check in, and I will put you at the top of the list rather than keeping you waiting around. But really glad you dropped in today, and drop in again sometime if you'd like. K5ABN, Travis in Northwest Arkansas. You have a great hump day, Wednesday, 7-3. Good morning. Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's see what Marty is up to today. KO6GXX. Good morning, Marty.
Well, greetings and salutations to you and everyone on the net this fine Wednesday morning. I told everyone on the weather net this morning, welcome summer, because it feels like that already, and we haven't even made April yet. Over.
Yeah, no, we're whiny Californians. But I must say, we had the doors and windows open yesterday. Even turned on the attic fans, and it doesn't feel like March. That is for sure. It's more here's summer weather. I hope it's here not to stay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a little more of that California sunshine, or liquid sunshine. Sorry for the noise of the cars here. Anyway, I think someone said right before I turned on this morning that it's time to do weed abatement. And man, I don't know what happened this last week, but stuff has grown like crazy. So I guess I'm going to have to get back out there tomorrow morning. Don't want to mow before 10 or after 10 o'clock. Too likely to hit a rock and spark something. There's already been a couple of little escape debris fires, so no sense contributing to that.
No, I saw in the local news social rag that somebody went to bed a couple nights ago, left the burn pile going, and fire department got there in time to. It was already 15, 20 feet up into the trees. So, yeah, just because he can doesn't mean, well, Darwin is still here.
Yeah, that's quite true. Well, I'm on the board of my local fire department, so I figured if anything like that happened with me, I'd be embarrassed or show my face around the firehouse. But so. Unless things get a whole lot wetter or cooler again, we're probably done with the burning for this year.
My office used to be next door to the Meadow Vista Fire Department. I had to go over there once and complain about a burn pile that nobody was out standing by, and it was smoking me out of my office. There was no embarrassment. They said, okay, well, we'll take care of it. Then they came over and inspected my business for fire violations the next week.
Yeah, that's what happens. You poke your head up, they go, oh, wait a minute, have we seen you yet? No, it's not necessarily like that, but yeah, so we're getting ready for fire season. Unfortunately, it could be an early one, and hopefully it won't be a bad one. I have to be saying, finally, PG&E has done a lot of stuff that is improved the situation vastly, although not perfectly, but vastly. So I hope that we don't have a lot of problems, at least in regards to power lines.
Well, kudos to them for a brilliant PR campaign where we are undergrounding our wires, and then they do probably 1/10 of 1% and call it that they hit the goal line. Kudos to them. Brilliant PR. and they have been doing a lot better job of trimming. I mean, at least in our area, they are hacking trees. You know, anything that's within the right of way is pretty denuded out this way.
Yeah, they have, and it's been consistently the last couple of years working on it, so it's actually measurable, and I can tell. And I have a friend that works for PG&E that's working on the undergrounding project. I'm kind of hoping that the two loops that reach our house after about 175 feet will get undergrounded one day, especially since the pole that our main breakers are on is starting to lean because of the pressure of the heavy lines running over to it. And one day I'm going to have to replace it if they don't hurry up and trench into the yard. But yeah, there certainly have been remarkable improvements in that area.
Yeah, brilliant. I'll just say, you know, their plans were like, I think, not even a percentage, not even a full percentage of the main lines were going to get undergrounded. But you know, they're doing it in very visible locations, and I think that's giving people a feeling of comfort. But yeah, I'm just glad to see that they're not having to shut down the power at every prediction. They are being a lot more responsive to actuality rather than prediction. So yeah, a couple years ago, the constant outages because of a prediction, it got a bit intolerable. I'm glad no fire started, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but it was, you know, you just wonder how many homes burned because of improper generator connections. Anyway, well, you have a wonderful day there, Marty, and I had no idea that you were involved with the fire department up that way, but we certainly appreciate everybody who's out there keeping us safe and reminding us to keep our areas defensible.
Yeah, when I retired, which has now been about, 11 years ago, I decided it was time to give back to the community, and we were worried about fire insurance. I started talking to the local fire chief, and then he said, well, why don't you come join us? And I said, oh, okay. So I did that, and I'm still doing it. I took a couple of years hiatus while we traveled a little bit, but I'm back on the board, and I also did fire lookout stuff at all the three that are in Nevada County. Well, Mount Howell, that's in Colfax and Placer, of course, but it's the one closest to my house. But so I tried to do some of those things just to kind of help them give back to the community. All right, my friend, catch you later. I'll look forward to hearing from Frank tonight about my assignment for the Hamfest coming up, and be ready to assist with that. After this one, KO6GXX clear.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, everyone who is going to be involved, especially leadership, but anybody who's involved with volunteering for the upcoming Hamfest this evening at 6 p.m. on the Zoom room. We're going to be having the last Zoom room meeting for preparation, and this is kind of where we nail down the final details of who's bringing the tables, who's bringing the chairs, do we have any unmet needs. So yeah, everyone who is volunteering for the upcoming Hamfest tonight would be a great night to stop by. And then of course next week on Thursday we will be having a quick meeting on location to do a walkthrough, and so please put that on your calendar, set your timer for later today for that meeting. Marty, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for volunteering for the upcoming Hamfest. That's the Loomis Hamfest at the historic Loomis train station. That is going to be, of course, March 28th at 6 a.m. for sellers, 7 a.m. for buyers, and we will have coffee and donuts in a nice social seating area under the canopy. So so a lot of Hamfest is in-person social time, and so we are going to have a nice area where we just have chairs kind of in the shade, and it should be a wonderful place just to sit down and visit with your ham friends. Good morning, Coffee Break Net. Let's check in what Dave is up to now. K6DCL. Good morning to you and Lucy.
Good morning, Brian. K6DCL in Jamestown here, sunny Jamestown. There you go. 82 degrees today. It's amazing. Anyway, we had a power outage. Actually, it was a dip that knocked everything out, including the biggest thing was the internet. So I was sweating it there for a bit. But then I heard, when it came back up, I heard people talking, and so I knew I was going to be okay, but I didn't know where I was in the list of people, but I'm grateful that I'm still here. Anyway, we had a good day yesterday. We rode around a little bit, did some errands, and Lucy made the most fantastic Irish meal with corned beef, cabbage, carrots, and potatoes. It was delicious. She put it in a slow cooker, and it was absolutely fantastic. It could not have been better. Anyway, so we had that for dinner last night. And for whatever reason, I'm staying awake until 11:30. I don't know why. I usually go to sleep at 10. But the past week or so, it's been later. But I'm trying to go with the flow, whatever it is, and probably trying to go with the flow too much. But anyway. We're just having a ball here, and with this beautiful weather, I cannot and will not complain about it. So it is what it is. It'll probably cool off. I told Lucy not to put her winter clothes away yet. Don't want her getting caught off guard, but who knows? Anyway, I sent the ICOM 705 back to Texas to a guy that bought it from me, and I'm very grateful that he did, and he should be getting it by Friday, and all works out. I just love it, and he'll be loving it to take it on to the next step. That's about it. K6DCL. Over to you, Brian.
Oh, very good. One of your purchases has found a new home, and I know you care for them well, and you're the early adopter that I know many people appreciate your feedback on. Well, glad to hear that the power outage didn't last too long for you there, but the great corned beef and cabbage dinner you didn't have to enjoy by candlelight, it sounds like. Well, good morning to you, and glad that you checked in this morning. Good morning to Lucy. And yes, this is the weather that we love about California. You know, when it's in the 80s and 70s, beautiful, beautiful springtime weather. Still in winter, but beautiful springtime weather, and certainly do enjoy that weather. It's just, this is a prediction that we'll probably have something a heck of a lot less enjoyable, and I am not going to want to see my electricity bill this summer. Good morning, K6DCL AI6US. You have a wonderful day.
Well, Brian, thank you very much, and we try to keep the air conditioning at bay, but, sometimes when it gets too hot, there's nothing you can do about it. And so we just suck it up, and that's the way it is. I try not to complain. It's just, there's nothing much I can do about certain things, so I just shrug it off. There you go. And that's all I can say. Take care. It's Wednesday, so have a good week. And the rest of the week and the weekend, and we'll see you next week. K6DCL.
All right, Dave, you have a wonderful day, and yes, this is my Friday for running net control. So tomorrow, of course, Theta, W6EWF, and Gerry, W6E will be the net control host, and I'll just invite you to make sure you're here on Friday, Dave, because Friday is our 6-year anniversary, and I know you've been riding along for, probably, I know, at least 5 of those years riding along with the net. So if you have any special memory of a conversation or a fun comment, drop in on Friday. Dave, K6DCL, AI6US 73, happy hump day.
K6DCL, take care. I have lots of memories I can talk about. One of them. See you later.
All right, Dave. Chat with you later. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Where is the time flying? We're already at 9:41 a.m. here on the West Coast, Northern California. Let's go ahead and let's just see who wants a quick in and out, and then we'll try getting another rag chew round in here if possible. So anybody want a quick in and out for the Coffee Break Net?
November 6, Echo Mike Sierra.
Kilo November 6, Whiskey, Quebec Uniform KN6WQ. Good morning, Brian. Quick in and out.
KQ4 SDX.
K4LGI.
Kilo Echo 6, Juliet Echo Mary.
And 7 MSM Mobile. KC5 SFE, Kilo Charlie 5, Sierra, Foxtrot Echo, Turk in Oklahoma City, and I'll be in and out.
All right, the last station, Kilo Echo 5, Sierra, you had a lot of packet loss on you, so I didn't get your call. Try that again, please.
Okay, yeah, this is Kilo Charlie 5, Sierra, Echo, Turk in Oklahoma City. I'll be in and out.
All right, Kilo Charlie 5, Sierra Foxtrot Echo. Thank you very much. I think you said your name was Dirk, Oklahoma City, and we'll just take that as your check-in. You have a wonderful day. Thanks for finding our net, and drop by on any time. Let's see, I heard N7 MSM. Good morning, Marv. We'll be right back to you. And KE6JEM, I believe that's John. And good morning to Sam, K4LGI. Hey, good morning, Kathy, KQ4SDX. And good morning to Dan, KN6WQ. And good morning to Bob, too, N6EMS. Did I miss anyone? All right, just a reminder, these are quick in and outs. Up to the top. Good morning, Bob. N6EMS, what do you have for the net today?
Morning, Brian. Morning, everybody on the net, and Kathy as well. Hey, just wanted to say hi and check in quickly. I'm going to be out of touch for a couple of days. on the road working, but I wanted to take a minute and just pause and express a thank you to you, Brian, for spending the time with Sam, one of our young licensees that had a bunch of questions last night, in spite of the "you're killing me, Smalls." But yeah, just taking the time and chatting and answering questions. That was really rewarding and good to see that everybody was willing to jump on and contribute. That's all I got. Have a great day, Brian, in 6 years.
Well, thanks, Bob. And it does not go unnoticed that you spent some time with him and yesterday answering a lot of questions. I know we had quite a few folks on the repeater yesterday with some great questions and operating questions and just hardware, and I heard you jumping in there and offering information as well. And that's the awesome part about this hobby and especially our club. Folks are willing to jump in there and assist when they're able to. So kudos back to you, my friend. You helped Sam a lot yesterday as well. You're killing me. Oh, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, but in a good way. So, but yeah. So, good job. Talk to you later. Have a great week in 6EMS.
All right, Bob. Always a pleasure to have you stop by. Good morning to N6EMS. Hitting the road. Work calls so we can buy more amateur radio equipment. Good morning, Dan. KN6WQU. This heat is killing you.
Yes, sir. It sure is, Brian. I need to call you back real quick. I'm on the phone with somebody else. This is KN6WQ.
All right, Dan. We'll check in with you in a few minutes. Kathy, KQ4SDX. I got some of your sourdough starter dehydrated in a nice little envelope over the weekend, and I just had not had time to drop you a thank you. But I got the recipes, I have the starter, I have no excuses. I'm going to enjoy. Thank you.
Good morning, Brian and the net. Dad, I am having a ball, and I'm glad you received that. Good luck. Let me know how it goes. I haven't rehydrated mine. I know my dad has and has made waffles. But I have it as insurance, and I really like that feeling. I just got done. I'm just so excited. My brother gave me the idea of selling my caramels, and so I've created Kathy's Caramels, and we're having an artisan market next month. I'll be traveling, but my girlfriend's going to sell my caramels for me. So I made probably 400 samples for her to hand out for people before they buy, and I was able to buy some labels and packaging that's going to be cute. And I'm just tickled. It's fun. My dad has all kinds of creative ideas of flavors, but I'm going to stick with mine. And mine's actually kind of an accident. I didn't have enough corn syrup, so I used sorghum in its place, and it gives it a really rich, yummy flavor. So it's truly my caramels. And the other thing I'm doing, I had to put down to answer you, is I'm making a flour out of shell-stuffed meatballs. So just placing it in a shape of a flower, I'll put spaghetti sauce under that and cheese on top, and I have games planned for tonight with dinner guests.
Hopefully our conversation does not cause anything to spoil for tonight's event. Sorghum. I've never used it. I've heard of it. I'm sure I've had it in different foods, but I've never used it before. So, And I believe you said that you were going to be doing a caramel. What type of caramels are you doing? And 400 samples. And what is that leading up to?
I'm just having fun. Here up on the mountain, I think we have 500 homes built out of, I think it's 1,400 parcels. And there's a lot of talent up on the mountain, and so people just set up a table and sell their goods. One gal bakes beautiful sourdough bread, and she's created the business of Tennessee Killer Breads, and she's nationwide now, and probably international. But that's who gave me my starter out of organic flour from Farmer's Storehouse. And others, create charcuterie boards, just greeting cards, yarn creations, acupuncture. There's all kinds of talent up here, and it's so much fun. So I'm just adding to the fun. The sorghum is a natural sweetener, and I remember having it as a kid and liking it. But then I bought some at the Sequatchie Cove Creamery here, and when I got it home, I was like, I don't know what to do with this. So it was out of the necessity that just making my standard grandma caramels that generated from making them for my granddaughter and my girlfriend's grandchildren for Advent at Christmas has become a favorite of a lot of my friends. And so I thought, I'll see if I can go ahead and do like my brother said and sell them. So I got these little bags that I slip the caramel into and seal them. And some of them are a little bit tougher than others, but I've learned to perfect it a little better now. I know I made my dad a batch and it was kind of soft, not as enjoyable, but not quite as hard as one of the C's lollipops, but chewy. It's yummy.
Well, as your neighbors grab these samples in these little plastic baggies and head home, hopefully the local police and sheriff do not arrest your neighbors thinking it's tar heroin or something. Oh, I'm sorry, my mind goes some weird places once in a while. Sorghum, how is that similar or different to malt?
Oh, great question. I have no idea, but man, I love malt. Ooh, I never even gave that a thought. I just happened to have this in my cupboard. I only had a 3/4 cup of a cup that I needed for my caramels of corn syrup, so I reached into my pantry, remembering the sorghum, and hey, that's kind of got the same consistency of corn syrup. I'll use that. But I'll have to look up the difference between sorghum and malt, because I can't answer that. And I don't even know how to describe sorghum other than perhaps closest to molasses, maybe?
And I had to look up sorghum because I've just never been exposed to it other than hearing of it before. And the Google AI describes it as a versatile, gluten-free, ancient grain with a mild, nutty flavor and a chewy texture. So, I was just kind of curious, because malt is also, comes from a grain, and I just was wondering if there was any similarities. But it looks like sorghum can be either a grain or a syrup. I did see something very interesting when I was looking up sorghum here, that you can pop sorghum like popcorn. I would like to give that a try.
Yeah, the sample caramels that I've made, I've cut each square into 4s and then wrapped them in wax paper, and so they're just little bite-sized pieces. I made some that were bunny-shaped, and they were thick, and it's like you can't talk and eat that at the same time. It was funny. But, hey, what are you talking about with the police? What are they thinking it's going to be? What is that?
Well, you said you were making little caramel samples, and I was thinking of, I used to ride along. I was a camera guy for Real Stories of the Highway Patrol. Did several episodes of Cops. So I've seen some heroin busts before, and I was thinking the little plastic wrapped saran-wrapped caramel might be mistaken for your neighbors taking little doses of heroin home. Maybe I thought it was funnier in my head.
Oh, my goodness sakes. Yeah, I don't think any brownies of this sort is sold either, but no, these are all innocent. Kathy's caramels. I'll put 5 or 6 in a bag and fold the paper over and put my little label on there. I had AI create my label. Otherwise, my girlfriend who does Tennessee Killer Birds was going to create a label. She's really talented in logos and such, and hers looks so Tennessee, her label. But AI created a cute little country label for me, and I'm just really happy with it. I'm just having fun. I wish I could have as much fun with eating right and exercising. I really need to be putting my focus there, and I keep getting creative. Oh, the other thing I made, this is fascinating. I was coming home, and right in front of me was a license plate that read Tampere. Tampere is a town in Finland. Mind you, I was an exchange student to Finland high school, and I'm still strong friends with the family. Family like, friends like family. Really have a strong bond with them, and so that person lives on the mountain up here. And it's like, so I reached out on Facebook. Who knows this person? And she responded, and I'm getting together with her on Friday. So I have made something else new, and I'm going to surprise her with it. It's so yummy. I love it when I go to Finland. And it's making these little rye flour pastries. And so you roll out this flour in a big circle, and then you fill it with rice porridge. And the rice porridge is made by making the rice like normal, and then you cook it longer with a couple cups of milk. And it makes the sticky porridge. And you fill it in there, and it's kind of salty. And then you scrunch the ends, kind of the shape of a football, and then you bake it. It turned out perfect. I'm so excited that I've been able to make a authentic Finnish dish for my new friend I haven't met yet. We're having coffee on Friday morning.
Small world, isn't it? Well, very good. Hopefully she enjoys that taste of her country, and how cool. Very observant there. Well, Kathy, I have flipped the egg timer way too many times. I think some other people out there are going, come on. We better get down this list. But a pleasant, wonderful conversation with you this morning. Have a wonderful event with your community this evening. And I am looking forward to giving that dehydrated sourdough starter a try. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. KQ4SDX, AI6US, have a wonderful day. Rice flour pastries filled with rice porridge, rye flour pastry. I'll have to look that one up. 7-3.
Corellias. Yes, really good. And thank you all for the time on the net. I'm enjoying listening as I do my creativity here at home. KQ4SDX, 7-3. Everyone have a blessed day. Thank you, Brian.
Comment. Glad to hear that the Coffee Break Net is not ruining people's creativity. Have a great day, Kathy. Good morning, Sam, K4LGI. Thanks for your patience. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Everybody in net. There was a comment in there. About 70 degrees here in Denver, and we'll try to march on here. It's getting a little late. I went in Monday, had my eyes checked out, and I think the March winds are... My new electric razor, when I blow the whiskers out, let it cut, bounce back in my eyes. I guess I closed my eyes one time and felt them. And I wonder if you... I'm on Echolink, and one time I was tuning around, heard somebody calling CQ on Echolink. There's some mode I don't know very much about. I wonder if anybody's tried to push any digital stuff through there, see how much, if any digital stuff can be pushed through directly in the Echolink. And, or maybe it's prohibited, or maybe you'd be blacklisted, I don't know. Anyway, have a nice day to everybody, and everybody sounds great here in Denver, K4LGI. Thank you.
I don't know of anybody doing any like a digital insertion on an Echolink codec. I would imagine that would get you banned pretty quickly unless you were going point to point on that. So yeah, I have no concept of what they might have been doing. But Sam, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in this morning. And let's see. Had a comment. Looks like it might have been from Graydon, KC6SLE. Graydon, go ahead.
Just real quick, Brian, I was on the sorghum. We actually raised sorghum for a while in the valley, but it was used for livestock feed. Doesn't mean it can't be a human food too, but I thought it might be an interesting observation that it was used for livestock feed in the valley. KC6SLE.
Conditions. Okay, very interesting. So, you know, having grown up on a farm raising sorghum, I'm sure you grabbed one of those blades of grass and put it in your lips and gums and chewed on a little bit. What did it taste like?
It was kind of like a different form of barley. You know, one time I was taking a tour of the winery, and they had bins of different kinds of hops that you could look at. Well, I didn't know you couldn't taste them either, so I reached in and grabbed some hops and tasted those. So kind of a similar, you know, multi-type flavor. One thing about it is that I'm extremely allergic to sorghum when it's pollinating, and we'd be out there harvesting it, and my eyes would be swelled shut, and I could barely breathe, and the dad said, "Get over it."
Buckle up, Buttercup. We got some work to do. All right. Hey, thanks for that information. I had no idea that sorghum was grown in the area, but I guess I'm not a cow either. Well, debatable. Thanks. Have a great day, and appreciate that feedback there, Graydon. 7-3.
C6SLE.
And good morning, John. KE6JEM. John, good morning. And anything for the net today?
Yeah, good morning. All this talk about food and all the other good stuff is making me really hungry here. Wednesday morning is when I do my errands, and I've been kind of tag teaming between jumping out of the truck here. First QSO that I've had in the truck with the roof mount antenna. So I would be curious to know what the signal quality is like. Right now I'm parked in front of Home Depot here in Roseville. But I was listening to you earlier this morning, and you had a QSO with a lady in Pennsylvania. And as a brand new newbie here, I'm trying to figure out what technology are you using or is being used to communicate with people way across the country. I've just been curious.
Well, John, we just have one hell of a transmitting antenna. No, just kidding. No, we use something called AllStar, and this is something you can put on your phone. If you, we use AllStar and we use Echolink for connecting up to other repeaters and other nodes. So, for example, if you are out of RF range of our repeater, I don't know if you have an Apple device, iOS device, or if you have a Android device or what you use, but there are apps in the stores that allow you to get in either through Echolink or through AllStar. So if you tell me what kind of phone or tablet device you use, I could just guide you to the right product that we use. And yeah, they're just allows us to link repeaters together, or to a lot of us have a node in our house, and so it allows us to connect up to repeaters all around the world.
Yeah, very good. I do have an iPhone that's a little bit older, i12s, but I actually did install AllStar and apps on the phone, but I don't know how to use them. And actually this morning I was trying to link Last night I was trying to link the radio to my iPhone through Bluetooth, and it completely refused to do that. And then this morning I was trying the same thing with my trying to hook it up into sync on my Ford pickup truck here, and that wouldn't work either. So I must be doing something wrong. When I get hold with Smitty for some Elmer help, I'm sure he'll set me straight on that. But yeah, I do have the apps installed. I just don't know how to use them yet. But you know, second day in here actually. Last night was my first QSO in 55 years, and so I've got a lot of learning to do. It's been fun listening to you guys. I'm going to have to cut out here because I got to go to Home Depot. And in the morning I go to the gym, so I catch up maybe 10 minutes from the house to the gym, but I don't really have time to do a QSO, so I'll probably just be listening in. And then on Friday, I'll be heading over to the ranch over in Napa Valley, and I'll be there for 5 days. So I'm going to be out of the area here for a while. 73 Kilo Echo Juliet Echo Mary.
Comment.
Well, actually, from Napa Valley, we have people checking in from there. So depending on the terrain for the area over there, but could be a direct shot across. But yeah, perfect example of when you go over to Napa. If you want to check into this repeater, you would I assume that you've already gotten your Echolink registration. So you've gone to Echolink and put in your call sign, and they gave you a registration number. And you probably did the same for the AllStarLink. You went to the ASL, the AllStarLink website, and registered your call sign there as well. So with those, you just put those in your phone, and then you use the phone directly. So if you do not have a node, you're just using your phone with either Echolink or a web transceive on your phone, then you would just use your phone as your connection. There would be no connection between your radios and your phone. So hopefully that is part of the beginning of understanding this technology. But just allows you anywhere in the world, as long as you have cellular or internet connection, you can just punch up what node you want to get into. And for example, on AllStar, we are 51018, and you would just go onto your application web transceiver and just put in node 51018 connect, and then you would be connected into our node from any part of the world. So that's how you're hearing stations outside of the area, and that's how it could work for you. Hey, welcome to the Coffee Break Net. Glad you joined us. And yeah, last evening I was happy and privileged to be your first voice contact in your 55 years. And welcome back into a wonderful hobby. KE6JEM AI 6US. You have a wonderful day ahead. 7-3.
Comment.
7-3 KE6JEM out.
Let's see if Marv has destinated, if that's a word, in 7 MSM. Good morning, Marv.
That I have. I checked in from home, and we were here in Sutter in Roseville, and I just wanted to say, for those who have medical procedures that require you not to eat, this is not the net to listen to during the day before. Anyway, we are in the parking lot. Time to go. In 7 MSM Mobile.
Yeah, but we talk about plenty of things that will make you lose your appetite as well. Hey, Marv, enjoy your procedure if that's possible, and I wish you a wellness day ahead, and good morning to Tracy. You guys have a wonderful day, and sorry, we kept you occupied all the way from Meadow Vista down to Sutter, but that's why we're here. In 7 MSM AI 6US 73. Good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Just a reminder, the Loomis Ham Fest is coming up on March 28th. That is about a week and a half away. big. Have you seen the prizes? Oh my gosh, go to W6EK.org and look at the prizes. We have over $2,500 worth of prizes that have been purchased and donated. Too many to list here, other than there's a M1KE from Shark RF. There's antenna certificates from Alpha Antenna. There is a Jackery solar power bank with solar panels. There is a bamboo printer, 3D printer, with 2 reels of PLA. So, man, we have dozens and dozens, HRO gift certificates, DX Engineering gift certificates. We have so much to give away for prizes this year. So come on out. Loomis Hamfest at the historic Loomis train station. That's Saturday, March 28th. And we'll look forward to seeing you there. And just as it was pointed out to me, the meeting for volunteers for the Hamfest is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. So Thursday evening, 6 p.m. We do need more volunteers. So if you are a club member and you haven't volunteered yet, what are you waiting for? This is an all hands on deck call. We need you to volunteer. We need probably about 10 more volunteers so we can have time to enjoy the Hamfest ourselves. Good morning. Coffee Break Net. We are well after 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to go ahead and move right into For the Log. Anybody out there who would like to get the call into the log, this is the time that we do it, and please spread it out, and I will get everyone in the log before I sign clear and die.
Hello, Mike. Good morning, Brian. W8LDT, Tim, Michigan Mobile. Good morning.
This is Kilo Bravo 7 Delta Foxtrot Papa KB7 DFP Cannon Twin Falls.
WB7 UKX.
W1ETB. Good morning, Brian.
KI November. Good morning, Brian. AI6LZ.
KO6IMP for the log only.
Whiskey Bravo 3, Charlie, Sierra Yankee. Thanks, Brian.
K6 DLK.
KA3, Victor Golf Mike. Sorry I'm late. Everybody have a good day.
All right, a little bit of kerfuffle in there, but not bad. Thank you. Good morning to Jimmy, KA3VGM, and good morning to Jim, KE6POR. Good morning, Dan, K6DLK. Good morning to Rick, WB3CSY. Good morning, Matt, KO6IMP, and a very good morning to Bert, AI6LZ. Good morning, Russ, KI6LOP, and good morning to Dick, WB7UKX. And good morning to Ken, KB7DFP. Good morning, Ken. What's for lunch?
It's going to be something super, and I haven't decided which one yet. Probably from the Campbell's line, KB7DFP.
And on behalf of Campbell's, I'm sure they are grateful. You have a super day yourself. That was funny, Ken. W1ATB, I heard you twice. I'm only going to put you in the log once. Good morning to you, Aaron. And W8LDT, good morning to Tim. And KM6MM, good morning, Mike. Everyone, I have you in the log. Do we have anybody else for the log this morning before we close down the Coffee Break Net?
Good morning, Brian, KI6TC. KO6IMP. Just wanted to add that my wife Kathy enjoyed Kathy's information, and we're excited about sorghum. This is Matt, KO6IMP. Clear.
Kilo Delta 6 Hotel Oscar November. Thanks, Brian.
Hey, good morning, Joe. KD6HON got you in the log. And good morning, Glenn. KI6TC got you in the log as well. Glenn. And Matt, glad to hear that you are excited about sorghum. Yeah, we'll have to talk more and see if you need some counseling. Good. Last call for the log. Any takers? And I must say, yeah, Kathy gave a lot of great information this morning. That was a fun conversation with KQ4SDX. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Well, as you know, this is my Friday, so if, when you come back tomorrow, Theta, WA6EWF, and Gerry, WA6E, will be your net host and conversation facilitators. And I will be taking a break until next Monday morning. Let's see, with that, I'm just going to wish everybody a wonderful Wednesday ahead. Hope that you have a great day, and I really appreciate you stopping by and being part of the conversation. Had a couple of new folks stop by today, and always great to welcome a new person in and have them be part of our conversation. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wish everybody a wonderful day ahead, because the Coffee Break Net is where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing, and the fish are jumping. This net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club. We are here every day of the week, 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 1430 to 1700 UTC. Here on node 51018 and connected to AllStar and Echolink nodes through the W6EK Repeater. I'm Brian, AI6US in beautiful blue skies, sun hitting the ground, and temperature rising. Meta Vista, California, returning the W6EK Repeater and all connected repeaters and nodes back to normal operation. Everyone have a wonderful Hope Day 7-3.
So Brian, don't go anywhere for a second. I got to run an outro, and I have a question for you. KG6, and I'll tell you.